Favoritism, cunning, deception, those kind of qualities, those kind of elements are things that are found over and over again in the story of Jacob and Esau. Before these twins are born, in chapter 25 of Genesis, a statement is made to their mother, Rebekah, 2 nations are in your womb, 2 people shall be separated from your body. 1 people shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. And as they grow up, Esau becomes an individual that's an outdoorsman. He loves to hunt. He becomes a favorite of Isaac, his father. Jacob is more concerned about the affairs of the estate. He seems to have a business mind more so than his brother, and he becomes a favorite of his mother, Rebekah. But you wonder, as they start growing, have they heard this kind of statement, that the younger will serve the older? Have they heard the statement that they will be the patriarchs of 2 nations of individuals? And how does that affect them? As they become older, the statement's found in the latter part of chapter 25 that Jacob cooked a stew and Esau came in from the field being very weary. He says to Jacob, please feed me with that stew, for I'm weary. And Jacob says, sell me your birthright as of this day. Esau said, look, I'm about to die, so what is this birthright to me? Jacob said, swear to me of this day. So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and stew of lentils. And Esau ate and drank, arose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. That's the way the New King James Version translates it. The Hebrew word carries with the idea not really of disdain, but it's inconsequential. It's not something that really seems that valuable. You start thinking about the ingredients in verse number 30. When Esau's talking about, I am really hungry, you have something that I need, in verse 32, or verse 31, Jacob says, you have something that I want to possess. And let's make a bargain. And the request for the birthright really doesn't seem to shock Esau, so it seems like a conversation that these 2 young men have had maybe numerous times growing up. But you see the sibling kind of rivalry coming into play when Esau says there's really that's kind of inconsequential. Even if we are patriarchs for 2 nations, we're both going to be dead soon, so what does it matter? Esau will actually come to regret that decision later on. But that kind of rivalry, that kind of cunning, doesn't really filter over into deception, but 2 chapters later, deception comes into play, and it's instigated initially by the mother, by Rebekah. She hears her husband Isaac, who now is practically blind and he's up in age, tell his older son Esau, I want you to go out hunting, and when you actually bring the game back that you actually killed, please make me something to eat like you know that I like, and when I eat that I'll give you a blessing before I die. She hears that and tells Jacob, we are going to get that blessing for you. And he actually raises some issues. He said, don't worry about it, just follow what I tell you to do. She puts Esau's garments on Jacob, and since Esau has more hair on his arms than Jacob, she takes care of that as well. Fixes food like she knows is going to be similar to Esau's, and he brings it to his father, and he says, here I am. And Jacob says, I am Esau, your firstborn. Verse 19 of chapter 27. I have just done as you told me. Please arise, sit and eat of my game, that your soul may bless me. Isaac said to his son, how is it that you come back so soon? And Jacob, pretending to be Esau, says, because the Lord your God brought it to me. There's a second lie. Lie number 1, I'm here. I've returned just like you told me. I've done exactly what you wanted me to do. And the reason that I'm coming back quick is because God allowed me to find that wild game very quickly. Jacob goes in, and Esau actually feels of the clothes and then feels of the hands, and he says, the voice is Jacob's voice. The hands of Esau. And in verse 24, he asks again, are you really my son Esau? Line number 3, Jacob says yes. Eats of that food, Isaac eats of that food, and provides this kind of blessing. Let people serve you, nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Not long after that, Esau comes in and brings a meal for his father. And Isaac, trembling, says, Where is the one who hunted game and brought it to me? I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him, and indeed he shall be blessed. And Esau recognizes it's his younger brother. That's the conniving younger brother. And he says, he has supplanted me. He has overtaken me. He's actually tricked me twice. He took away my birthright, verse 36. No, he didn't. You gave it to him. And now look, he has taken away my blessing. And the hatred of Esau. Esau wants to kill his younger brother. So Rebekah makes a statement to Jacob. Now therefore obey my voice, arise and flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger turns away from you, and he forgets what you've done to him, and then I'll send and bring you home from there, which never happens. When she works up this scheme to deceive the father, she doesn't realize that that hatred's going to reside for longer than she planned, and that Jacob will be caught up in the moment of serving his uncle, and that after years have passed and Jacob finally returns, she will no longer be alive. Cunning deception. The story here is replete with that. It's over and over again. Jacob learns that lesson of deception well, finds himself actually being deceptive, but he finds that deception being turned against him later on in life. But those are details for the next time we get together. Favoritism, rivalry, cunning, deception, not just thousands of years ago, but still in this 21st century. It's happening all around us today. Please pray for this nation. Please stay safe. We'll talk again soon.